Hello, everyone. Greetings to you all. This is Toyin Umesiri. Feel free to call me Coach Toyin. I'm the founder and CEO of Nazaru. I also serve as a business coach, and I help you grow your business both here in the US and internationally as well. So, if you're looking to grow your business, okay, if you're looking to take your business to the next level, if you're looking to quantum leap your life and business, you're in the right space. So, we already have Jennifer Austin and Mada. We have them on the audio platform. I apologize if I didn't say your name well. Do feel free to join the stage if you want to engage, if you want to ask any questions. I'm happy to engage as well. So, greetings, everyone. Okay, for those who are new to the space, because we've had several number of people join, particularly on the social spaces, YouTube. We've had a whole lot of crew over the last couple of weeks join us. So if you're a team new, welcome. I really appreciate that you're here. And for those who have followed my work for over the years, then you will not be surprised in terms of what I'm bringing publicly today. So when it comes to the international trade space, I do play key roles in advancing trade with Africa. I'm the founder and CEO of Nazaro, like I shared. I host the International Trade Summit, Trade with Africa Business Summit. On my TV show, I interview government leaders when it comes to programs and opportunities and trade financing and pretty much the A to Z of entrepreneurship international trade. So whether you're starting your business, okay, you have a business idea, or you want to scale to the highest levels, taking it cross-border international trade, right? That entire spectrum, we support you there. Now, why did I do that? For those who are new, actually, my work started in the international trade space, like Trade with Africa. Let's do this big stuff, right? Having served as a strategist for Fortune 1, largest, trader in the world, Walmart. So I came on the scene several years ago and I said, let's go trade, let's buy, let's sell, economic development, wealth creation. It's your time. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, literally, there was a lot of excitement, right? There's a lot of excitement in that world, but not enough skills focused, supply chain strategy, logistics, the real stuff. You can talk all you want. You can attend all events all you want. You can smile and take pictures with government and ambassadors all you want. If that's all you do, that's all you get. Breaking news. If all you do is attend events, if all you do is shake hands, if all you do is talk, that's all you're going to get. So, for those who actually want to convert trade opportunities into transactions, listen up. It takes skills, it takes strong network, it takes resources, it takes trade information. It's not child's play. It's not the social thing people are doing. So when I came on the scene and I realized, oh, everybody's excited, but nobody's doing the real ad labor. Everybody wants the benefit, but nobody wants to dig, right? Nobody wants to build the infrastructure. Nobody wants to do the work that is required to build this infrastructure, because trade with Africa is quite not as sophisticated with, as trade with China or trade with other parts of the world. So we are really at the, really an interesting junction where I say it only gets better. You see, when you're a pioneer, when you're a visionary, when we see all these opportunities for several years now, the current state of trade with Africa is quite optimistic, and we can accelerate it. Okay. So the accelerant, the speed up, how to speed it up is what Nazar is all about. So our platforms, our networking platforms, our events, my classes, my courses, is really to serve as an accelerant as we connecting you to strategic partners. Is that at the end of the day, if you want to participate in trade, I don't mean being a spectator. Okay, spectators need to do nothing other than grab your popcorn, watch the movie, see us do everything. Okay, but if you want to participate, then listen up. That's what I want to cover today. If you want to be a part, okay, of the explosive growth, the economic explosive growth that is going to be driven by trade, not aid, that is going to be driven by exports, imports, right? Agricultural improvement, manufacturing, healthcare, all of these things are happening. Trade financing, all of the instruments of trade, the movement all around is set for those who are oriented and serious and focused to be a part of this economic mobilization, wealth creation. Okay, so I said all of that to say I'm super excited for those who are ready to jump in and be a part of the movement. Because I'm saying that because the biggest challenge in this space is there's a lot of talking, not enough doing. There's a lot of talking, not enough doing. So this is really for action takers only. So what do I want you to think about as I'm hosting just this live conversation discussion? So this is more laid back. When I'm hosting events, it's pretty very serious. When we have, I'm hosting ambassadors, government leaders, all of those things, it's quite serious. But this social conversation is really an awakening and an invitation for those who want to participate to join our network. So we have a network, Trade with Africa network. There are business leaders there, buyers, sellers, there are government stakeholders there. Pretty much what we've tried to do is that the biggest gap is where do you find trusted trade partners? Where do you find people you can pitch to, people you can work with, people you can deepen and create business trust relationship with? Where can you, find leads? Okay, where can you find sales expert? Where can you find the type of people that also believe in what you're believing in, what you believe in, and who are trying to do what you're trying to do, and who can support you around different countries, different sectors, on and on. So the Trade with Africa network grew out of hosting events, and then people saying, listen, we flew all the way halfway around the world. We found the people we wanted at the events, right? People literally travel halfway around the world. This was before COVID, right? And then basically they're like, how do we stay connected? And you won't believe this network started on my phone on a WhatsApp group. Right? That was the first place I had to put people. Let's get you as many people on WhatsApp, getting to know each other, connecting with one another. And it grew so much that I said, you know what, this is not going to solve everything we are doing, because we have documents that government send us, we have videos and resources, we have research documents, we have World Bank information, because we bring all of these knowledge experts around the world to create PowerPoints, to give presentations, to tell us what's going on, where the world is going, how we can participate, where the opportunities are, where is gold, where is mineral, what are the opportunities, is it retail, is it consumer goods, is it textile, what is going on in manufacturing in East Africa, agriculture, listen, commercial opportunity. They send us all this centralized information. And so the network, the Trade with Africa network, is where I now put all of this. Is our cloud space, exclusive trade information, networking with people. So there's people, there's information, there's events, right? There's training, there's coaching, pretty much all of the resources you now need, okay, to participate in Trade with Africa. And we're probably the strongest space in the whole world on this topic. Right? We've been at it for a long time. So I'm super excited in terms of where this is going. And so one thing I also want to share is that when it comes to the opportunity, people ask me what opportunities exist. Okay, I've written about this. You can download several articles as well at the Trade with Africa network. It's a mini book if you want to learn what's going on with Trade with Africa, what those opportunities are, how to establish partnership, how to find investors. I also have very advanced classes, trade and investment facilitation. If you want to learn how to work with government, if you want to be a consultant, right? If you want to be a service provider, you're a shipping company, a freight forwarder, everybody needs all hands on deck in order to move products from one point to the other. There are many hands, right? This is the vertical that builds the entire chain, the supply chain, from farm to shelf, right? Packaging with, like, listen, this space is where wealth is going to be built, explode, right? And we need everything right now. Okay, if you're a brand, brand expert, packaging expert, right? You're good with retail, you're good with online retailing, from A to Z. This is the opportunity. This is the moment, okay, for those who want to be a part of Trade with Africa. Because when it comes to moving goods from one point to the other, it touches many hands, and all the service provider along that journey they tend to support the growth and expansion of Trade with Africa. The other opportunities you have, so export is always a big one. So whether you're in the US, you want to export to Africa, or you're in Africa, you want to export to the US or other parts of the world, this is an opportunity. There's massive demand on the continent, right? So export is an opportunity. If you want to start a business, you want to export products, there are different things I teach in my school and on the platform around trade opportunities, right? And if you're an importer, you can be a US importer or an African importer, because for every export, this is trade partner, right? There has to be a trade partner on the other side, right? Finding buyers, finding sellers, right? So the exporters who is looking for buyers, okay, and then buyers are looking for exporters, you know that, and then importers are looking for suppliers, right? So one of the opportunities that we help facilitate are, African, should I say, producers, small, medium sized, or large producers that want to export, whether they are handmade goods, their textile, their products, okay, or even raw shea butter, coconut butter, rice, starch. There are different things coming up, leather, that they want to export into the US. And I also see US business owners, whether you're a manufacturer who wants to import, you want to import raw materials from the continent, alternative sources of supply. So you're a buyer, you want to import from Africa, okay? Or you are a retailer, right? We've had situation where you are a small business owner and you want to retail made in African goods. We've connected like things like, fashion houses that want to import African goods and all of those things, because there's increased demand for African made products, right? So we've seen that as well. We've also seen not just medium size, not just small businesses, but opportunities 2 steps up, right? Fortune 500 companies, medium sized companies as well. So I'm just coming here to just excite you. Hopefully, you're excited for this, and invite you to join us at the Trade with Africa Network, right? If you want to learn, if you want to connect, if you want to be a part of this mobilization, right? What do you have to sell? What do you want to buy? Right? What service? It could be products or services, right? As a service provider, this is why I teach the trade and investment facilitation, because you could be a consultant, you could be an analyst, you could be a researcher, right? Facilitating trade. You could also be someone that learns how to structure deals, okay, bringing key stakeholders together, right? So one thing that we do, right, what I'm really excited to do is I serve as an enabler. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, John Demezue. Greetings. If you want to come up to the stage, feel free. If you want to ask any question, feel free as well. So basically, okay, you want to come ask questions. Greetings to you. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Nice to connect with you. Nice connecting with you.
Okay, great. Did you have any questions or feedback or comments?
Yeah, I just came to the room now, but I think it's a wonderful topic. So you're talking about trade with Africa. Is it intra-Africa or trading with other parts of the world from Africa?
I love that question, because intra-African trade is one of the big ones. In 2019, the team at the African Union that actually led the implementation, right, and ratification of the AFCFTA, at my invitation, Ambassador Muchanga, Albert Muchanga, and his team, they actually visited us here in Chicago to educate us about the AFCFTA. So yes, the AFCFTA is absolutely a major topic. It's probably the most important topic if you want to trade on the continent. So think of it not just as intra-Africa trade, but actually also beyond Africa. So trade on the continent, within the continent, is a priority sector for those who are on the continent who want to learn how to export, import, and trade within Africa. So you have the intra-African trade banks. You have different things happening on the continent, so that, which is a very exciting. There's also opportunities for the diaspora, as example, because the diaspora is considered the sixth region when it comes to African Union trade policies, right? So part of intra-African trade, many people may not know this. You need to pay attention. Part of the policy around intra-African trade is that trade with the African diaspora is included in intra-African trade. People don't know this policy, that if you are a diaspora, if you are in someone of African heritage living outside of Africa and you are looking to trade with Africa, there are policies in place where that trade is considered intra-Africa, because they are not just thinking about Africa as a geographic location. The policy is thinking of Africans, trade among Africans, descendants, right? Natural. Listen, this is a policy on the African continent. You are considered the sixth region. So there are 5 regions on the African continent that governs policy, because the African continent is not one and the same. There are clusters. So East African trade, South African, right? West African, North African, Central African. Like, these regions have distinct economic, right, characteristics, and they are trade blocks in of itself. And so within the African Union policies, okay, is that there are 5 regions that are treated in very distinct ways because of their similarities, their history, all of those things. West Africa, East Africa, South Africa, North Africa, Central Africa. Now, beyond the African physical, the continent, there is huge recognition because of the history of Africa, the right? There's the colonial history is not ignored. So African Union knows that Africans are displaced. They were displaced all over the world. And part of the mobilization of the African trade is to invite back to the continent those who right, are diaspora, displaced, that they don't live on the continent, all over the world. Is that there's an invitation, an active invitation at the highest level on the continent to say, bring your money, come do business with Africa. There's policy in place, there's support in place, there's financing in place for you to partner with you are considered a key activator for economic empowerment, economic development on the African continent. So there are policies in place, there are resources in place to invite back diaspora to be part of intra-African trade. So I'm glad you brought that up, because most people don't even know. You are not, listen, they factored you in. You are the 6th region if you are living outside of Africa, and if you want to trade on the continent, you are considered as part of growing intra-African trade as well. So I'm glad I could share that, So I hope that helped you, Utemeze. I'm sorry if I didn't say your name well. Go ahead.
Yes, it's okay. It did. And I also have another question, because I've been following the Africa, as you said. I am currently in Nigeria, but one of the pain points of Africa is, trading, like payment settlement.
Payment.
I don't think yes, payment. So, for example, in Africa, it's difficult for me to send money to a Ghanaian, except I buy dollars and send to him. So how are we doing that? We should be settling.
Yeah, there's now a solution as part of intra-African trade, right? PAPS, PAPS S something, like the Pan-African Payment Settlement System, PAPS SS, PAPSS. You want to search that? Pan-African Payment Settlement System. Okay, so this is an initiative of the Afrexim Bank. Afrexim also, part of the bank, they launched, Miss Kanayo is now the, I believe, EVP for the Intra-African Bank, which came out of Afrexim. So previously, there used to be, intra-African trade as an initiative and a department inside African Afrexim Bank. I've worked with them, so I know all this stuff, right? But given the size and the potentiality and the projection, right, they decided to create a different bank, a new bank that Mrs. Kanaya leads. And one of the other initiatives as well to address what you just talked about in terms of payment settlements on the continent without having to buy dollars, because as you know, if you're in Ghana or Nigeria, or if you're in South Africa and you want to trade with Egypt, typically in the current world, you have to first transform, right, convert your local currency to dollars, and then send the dollars, and then the person then has to convert the dollar back to their local currency. So the Pan-African payment settlement system is designed to take care of that, where the currency settlement will happen on the AfriExim platform. And so you can use your Ghana cedis, okay, to buy things in Nigeria, and it will be converted to the Nigerian naira. And so it bypasses dollar purchase as well. And so I would have to almost follow up with the team to see how widespread the adoption has been, right? Because it's an enabler for traders. So again, enabling technology. So it's an enabling technology to facilitate trade transaction on the continent. And so these are the technical things being put in place, technical infrastructure, so to remove the cost, because one of the key barriers to trade is the fluctuations of currency conversion, daily currency exchange, particularly dollar to local currency across the continent, which Africans do not have control over. And so with this technology, what it means is you buy in your local currency, and then when you send your local currency using the Pan-African payment settlement, right? So if you are the seller, okay, you sell in your local currency, the buyer, right, will pay you in their own local currency, and this technology will settle it through the bank, right? This is it because it's a continental wide bank. AfriExim is owned by African nations, so it's a governmental body, right? And so part of this unified function of not just AfCFTA is also the technical enablers, right? Enablement of trade. And so this is one of those as well. But one thing I may just follow up with the president of the bank is more of, because there's the I don't want to put too much out here, depending on what appetite you guys have. These are the conversations we settle in the network, because we have contacts with all the key stakeholders. And so these are the type of things we help our clients and members address, because part of what we do is we invite the key stakeholders into our network to give us access, to tell us what's going on, to connect us with those opportunities as well. So part of our contact is really the leading experts in this space, right? And so what we could also find out, and all of the key stakeholders, listen, they know me, they know what we do. And so it's how is the adoption of the Pan-African payment settlement going? What questions do people still have? What concerns do they still have? What are the barriers? Can they show us success stories? On and on. These are the things we're going to bring back to our network as well. So that's great question. Thank you, those who are joining. I'm not sure I'll keep this too long, but if you have any questions, this is the time to ask it, and then join us in the network, because a lot of the questions you're having as well, many of it has been answered. We have our chat room. People are buying, people are selling, people are connecting, they're doing their own stuff. Because once you are in the community of like-minded people, you need to build relationship. There's nothing that happens in business without relationship. You can't do trade sitting in the comfort of your room, not talking to people that will help you, that will buy from you or help you sell. It's a different landscape. Okay, good. I love your questions. Any other questions before I start wrapping up today? And thanks to everyone who joined us. And again, check us out at nazaru.trade. That's the platform where you can connect with buyers, sellers, government stakeholders, service providers. You can also pitch. You have your own profile. You create your profile. You provide your introduction, your bio, your links, your website, your products. You share it with people. You connect with people. You DM them, and you definitely also access trade information about different countries, sector specific information, all of the resources over the last couple of years that we've put together, from knowledge expert from World Bank to like African, right, EFCFTA to African Union, to the leading expert, the people at the front line of mobilizing and advancing trade with Africa, including US government agencies as well. You can access those resources in the network. Yeah. Any other, let me ask you, did that help you, the answer I gave you?
Yeah, it's okay. It's perfect. It's okay. It was in there, and I liked it. It's okay.
Right. So did
So I'll
you,
just,
Go on.
Go on, please.
No, you go on, please.
I said I would just need to make inquiry about, payment settlement because as of now, the PAPS is active, but we don't still know that, there hasn't been any technical way to transfer money from somebody here to a different African country. Though on the website, they have some countries onboarded, mostly in West Africa. So it's on the website, PAPS says that some countries are still coming up, but even though PAPS is live, we've not seen any, integration.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you, what exactly are you trying to do? Because I want to make one of the things that is a problem, really, is that many people just want to talk about what is working and what's not working. What we focus on is helping our members, our stakeholders navigate the landscape and remove barriers to trade. So we don't want not just generalization, right? Generalization is just headline, is just news. But in the practical sense of it, what are you selling? Where are you selling it to? What are you trying to achieve you've not been able to achieve? Who have you tried to work with? These are the consulting, right? The consulting and coaching side of the work. So I'm not many people just want to talk about headline, newsline. Nothing happens on the news. Where the money is practical, right? I want to move this product to this location, right? This is the payment. This is what we're trying to do, because there's always a way around and there's always a way out if you know what it is you're trying to do. But if all this conversation is just headline, then that's okay. Let's just talk about headline. But what we do is more result oriented as well. So if there's something in particular you're trying to do, that's where we activate our network. We connect people to the right people who can remove barriers and help them achieve their goals. But if you don't have a specific goal you're trying to achieve, you just want to stay plugged in and connected, that's okay as well, right? But if there's something you're trying to actually achieve, this is when we come in and we use our network to help people remove barriers to trade. Make sense?
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. It's very clear.
Absolutely. So yes, we make a distinction, right? Because again, people just want to stay informed, and that's okay. But our work is quite practical, because when it comes to doing the work and achieving goals, it's very special. You have to have skin in the game. Those are the people who value the work that we do. So thank you everybody for joining today. I'm going to keep this very short. Again, founder and CEO of Nazarun. You can join the Trade with Africa events that we have. We have resources, we have the people as well. There are government stakeholders from different nations. I'm not going to say their name. When you join, you can search for the government space, because the events we've been hosting, right? The platform is we host events on the platform as well. And so those who have attended our events, our speakers, you find them as well, experts across field, from the healthcare, leading experts in healthcare, leading experts from around the world, in agriculture, from Israel, from different parts of the world. When it comes to trade policies, you find them there, on and on as well. So check us out. And if you have more questions, do